Hello everyone, Shannon Guss here, getting you ready for another exit interview from Australian Survivor Australia versus the world. This is an exit interview with Kass that we have that was moved to this week from last week, which was actually great because we got to talk about her game and we also got some jury insight. So that was great. It was awesome to finally get to speak to Kass after these last few months of getting to know her and watching her on Survivor Quebec and watching her on this season as well. I think she has emerged as a bit of a fan favorite. So that was really fun. In terms of all the other content, we did the recap on the finale with Mike and Puya and Chappelle. We have a podcast with Rob reacting to the finale as well that is out. We have the X interviews out with Parvati and with Janine. I think that's it. That's what's out so far. And then what's to come on the podcast with Rob, I just said we aren't getting Luke, and that just came out. But now I'm in talks with Luke to hopefully do something at a point, even if it's next week. So hopefully something with Luke, and then Suri. What's happening with Suri? They're telling me Friday, Australia time, right? So I need everyone to get together and pray. Pray to Suri that Suri comes onto the podcast and that this is something that happens. But basically, I clearly don't even know what's happening, so it's hard for me to plug it. But if you just stay subscribed or subscribe to the We Know Global Survivor feed, then you'll get all of it. Follow me at Shannon Gates where I post all of that. So if you don't want to miss it, that's the thing to do because I cannot give you the accurate enough information right now. So thank you all for checking that out. Hope you're enjoying all of this content, and I will see you next time. Bye. Kass, hi. I have so much to say to you. Firstly, congratulations. I know you're pregnant and I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast.
Thank you, Shannon. It's nice to meet you. I've heard so much about you.
I've watched so much of you, 67 episodes a couple of months ago. Will you tell Andre that I love him?
What?
Will you tell Andre? I
Andre?
watched your whole
I will
season.
tell him. I will tell him. He's gonna be really happy.
Your
You're
whole
gonna
your,
make his day.
your whole season was honestly a wild ride, start to finish, and I'm really
Yes.
glad I got the chance to watch it and to get to know you through these two seasons. I'd love to ask about, firstly, I think the international alliance, this Pinky alliance with Tommy and Lisa, how did that form? What was that relationship like?
Ah, like it was a natural alliance in that world tribe because we were from smaller edition of Survivor, so it was just natural for us to get together and try to take down as many Americans as possible and as many Aussie as possible. And just like it made sense for us to stick together until shit hit the fans in episode 7. But it made sense for us that we just stick together and go as far as possible in international alliance.
Yeah, so where did Parv and Suri fit into that? Because obviously you also have this like women's alliance.
Yes, yes.
So how did you kind of see that priority playing out down the
Yeah,
stretch?
for me, there were those two natural alliance because like there was a majority of women in World Tribe. There was a majority of international people in World Tribe. So those two alliances, for me, I wanted to keep them both as long as possible. It was my strategy in the game. And I realized at some point, also watching the episodes, that you cannot work on both on two alliance on the same level. And I realized that Tommy felt a bit apart because of the girl alliance. And I realized also that the girls like Siri and Parvati felt threatened by the international alliance. So yes, that's what I was trying to do, keep both of those alliances alive as long as possible. But like I couldn't do it apparently.
Well, Tommy and Lisa said that you and Lisa had pushed back when Tommy was coming for Parvati at that final 8 when you're going to go
Yes.
home, and it wasn't going to happen because you wanted to keep Parvati. What were your plans for Parvati? Like you say you wanted to keep it as long because she says that she felt the internationals were coming for her. Like how accurate was that, even if it wasn't going to be that night?
Yes. So Parvati, I was really aiming at Parvati this entire season. And my plan with her was to stay as close as possible to her, like stay close to your enemy so you know when to strike. That was really my plan with Parvati, to make her trust me. And I had a lot of conversation with her because people were going to her like, Kass is coming for you, Kass is coming for you. So I had a lot of conversation with Parvati trying to convince her like, I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm with you. Like, let's stay together. I just wanted to keep her trust. So that was my plan with Parvati. Tommy, when he pitched us the Parvati plan, at first I was on board with it. Like, I thought he had the number with Shawnee, Luke, and Lisa, but Lisa just abandoned with that plan. And the only thing also that I didn't like about Tommy's plan, it was Tommy's plan. Like, it was not my plan. And for me, that frenemy that I had, that rivalry that I had with Parvati, it had to be my move. Like, I really did want Parvati to be my move. So that was one of the reasons why I wasn't on board with this vote, and I was gonna vote Shoni on
Yeah.
that tribal.
Yeah, so why were people saying you were coming for her? Like, was that a pure lie, or had you put her name out a little bit?
Yes, it wasn't a lie. I mean, I tried to test waters with the Aussie. I remember talking to Janine a little bit, like I was trying to be subtle. I talked to Janine a little bit. I talked to Luke. I talked to Kirby also, and all three of them went to see Parvati and to tell her that I'm coming for her. So I was like, okay, like, how can I work with the Aussie when the first thing they do is like burning me with Parvati? I knew that they were trying to like separate us. Like, it's okay, but like, yeah, I was trying to go for Parvati, but it was so hard because even Tommy went to see Parvati to tell my name. So like, it was really hard.
Yeah. I noticed with Parvati, she made this deal where you dropped out in that endurance challenge, and she said if it's ever us two again, which was
Yeah,
honestly probably a likelihood, that
yeah,
she would drop out. And then it
yeah,
felt like she didn't honor that, even though you were
yeah.
at that point meant to be allies. So did you clock that? Like, what was happening with that deal?
No, 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 no. Actually, okay, so at first I didn't want to take the deal because
Yeah.
I want to win the challenge. I'm a very competitive person. I wanted to win that challenge. But when I was about to drop, I knew I was about to drop. Like, in the
Yeah.
seconds I was about to drop. So at that point, I told myself, okay, Cass, just accept the deal. You're gonna like build an even stronger alliance with Parvati. You're gonna build even more trust. So that's why I took the deal, knowing that she wouldn't let me win. Like, there's not a lot of challenges in a 16-day game. So of course she won't let me win another like individual immunity. And when we had that other moment, I just knew that I was going to win that challenge. I knew it. I was looking at her. She was sweating. She was having some difficulties. So I knew I was going to win it. So I didn't bring the deal on the table.
Yeah, well, I mean, having watched Quebec, I came back to the podcast and I said Cass is one of the best endurance players I've ever seen. So thank you for proving me right on that, because I think you matched it with Parvati and maybe even a little bit more, which is the highest honor. To talk about when you go home with the Bluff and the idol and that
Yeah.
moment, and Parvati's spoken about it from her perspective, where she takes out the idol stealer. What's going through your head at that moment, and you're playing it for Lisa? Like, talk me through that whole thing.
Yeah. So at first I was like, as I told you, I was going to vote for Shawnee, and everything like went wild. I understood that the plan had shift, but because I knew that Parvati didn't trust Lisa, I knew that Luke and Lisa didn't go well together, and that Luke was leading the Aussie vote. I really thought that all the votes would be on Lisa. I think it was like the logical thing to do for all of them because they didn't trust her. And when she pulled out that parchment, I told myself, wow, that's a huge advantage in the game. Like, being able to steal an idol after it's been like revealed.
Mm.
So I look at Parvati and I tell her, like, I'm going to play this for Lisa, and it's going to be Luke. So for me, it would make sense for her to flush my idol, let me play it, flush my idol, and maybe get one of the biggest player out there, Luke, out of the game. So that's why I thought it makes so much sense for her that she would let me do that move. But yes, I didn't like know that the votes were on me. And you saw my season. I played safe with my idol. I keep it until I was to secure a place in the top four. I didn't want to do that in that game. Like coming into Australian Survivor, I told myself, I'm not playing a safety game. I'm going to play a risky game, bold game. I'm going to gamble when I need to gamble. So at that tribal council, I was not gonna play my idol at first, but when everything went crazy, I told myself, okay, I have to do something. Even if like I have to go home, I have to do something. I have to have big move on my resume. If I have to go to final, I need really big move on that resume because I'm playing with fierce people, with legends of Survivor. So that's what I was trying to say. Like I was trying to save an ally that would help me to get further in the game after that. Lisa, I thought she was my ally at that time. She also threw me under the bus, but yes.
Yeah.
So that and I was trying to take out one of the biggest player, Luke, on this island. So if that move would have worked, that would have been gold on my resume.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get it. From Quebec, you and Ghislaine crushed it, but together, and then he wins. And I love the way you were trying to individualize in the season to get to the end to get a win, which can't really be said for a lot of the other players on the season who go to the end with a Parvati as an example. And now that we're having you a week later, it's so great that we can get some elements from the jury as well. So, from your perspective as a juror, how did you see that the jury, because we didn't have any jury villa videos, so how did you see that the jury was looking at the finalists? Like, was it close between like a Parvati and Luke? Did Luke have much of a chance? Like, Suri and Parvati, like, how did that final four kind of be? How were they seen by the jury in your eyes?
Of course, Lisa would have voted for Siri. We
Yes.
know that she loves Siri, so
Yes.
that would have been like a lot to vote.
Yeah.
I also knew that there was like in Sarah, there was like a patriotic vibe, maybe a little more than in Kirby's, and that was my fear. Like coming into that season where seven Aussie already knew themselves, or the Aussie all play for the same cause, like Australia and world. We are most like divided because we
Yeah.
don't came from the same part of the world. So that was my what I was afraid that if there's an Aussie on the final three, that the Aussie would vote for them. I knew that there was this patriotic side a bit with Sarah, but like I'm glad to see that all of the other players, I think, voted for the person that for them was deserving the most the title of best survivor player of all time. And I think that they were the three of them were really great. Suri would have been great also, but Parvati definitely played the base game.
Yeah, was it always going to be Parvati for you? You asked such a great question there
I
about
was
what jury votes, but
yes, I
she
was
answered it well as well.
yeah, she answered it well. And meanwhile, Janine gave me really such a political and vague answer. And I was like, Janine, I need four names. Give me four names. You
Yeah.
have to commit yourself. So Parvati, she just had the right answers to every question. So my vote was open, like it was open for sure. But at the same time, like I saw Parvati's game from front row and it was impeccable from the beginning to the end. So I didn't have the choice. And like I respect the player that she is so much and she owns her moves, she owns the way she was playing. So yeah, for me it was like clear that Parvati was that winner.
Because Sari and Parvati were really scared of Luke in the final tribal council. Was there that much push for Luke before the final tribal council and maybe it fell away? Or was that not as much? Because we didn't see that as much, but they seemed to think that.
Yes, I don't know why. I really think that maybe it's because there were some Aussie on the
Right.
jury, and you really think that it could play for them. But at the same time, Luke, I would have like Luke is talking so much in the season that he's not doing the crazy move that he could have done.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Luke do those crazy moves, like give his idol to Shawnee or something like that. That would have maybe give them like some power or some momentum in the final. He didn't. So I don't know. Like honestly, I watched the episode after my elimination, and for me, like yes, Luke won a lot of challenges, so maybe that gave him some credibility. But like for me, even watching the episode, it was clear that Parvati has an edge on Luke.
Yeah, you were like, he didn't take out the person everyone was talking about, played his idol at the final five when he
Yeah,
didn't need it. You played that game and you didn't get to win, so why should he get to?
exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, I knew
yeah,
that. I know
yeah,
what.
yeah. What about the language barrier? I mean, Tommy kind of spoke about how it was maybe more difficult out there. Definitely in the moment with like maybe even with the bluff. Like, how were you kind of keeping track of it? Although, I mean, the fact that you were doing it in a second language is incredible. I think your English is better than mine. But like, yeah, how was that out there?
That's so hard. So hard. Survivor is a game of social connection, of communication, and doing this in a language that's not yours. It's really difficult. And when your brain lacks food and sleep, the second languages just like goes away, they vanish. It's not a priority. So English was hard. And in that tribal episode 7, in our tribal, when everything went crazy, and we were trying to defend ourselves, Tommy and I, that was so hard
Yeah.
because we were trying to expose our version of what was happening. The Aussie were doing the same thing but lying. But because they speak English, oh sorry, it's my dog,
All right.
he's crazy. But hello.
Oh,
Sorry.
all good.
Oh. Okay, he's coming. Do I continue
Yes,
or
yes, yes.
with the
About the
barking?
yeah.
Okay,
No,
the
that's fine.
beautiful background sound.
Yeah.
So where was that?
About the
Yes,
the double
the
tribal.
language
Yeah.
barrier. Yeah. So we were trying to defend ourselves, but like we were trying to explain ourselves to Siri and Parvati, and Siri just told us like you're giving us two different versions, but because the Aussie are telling these stories in the same words, that's a green flag for me. And you guys are telling the story in different words, two times in different words. So for me, that's a lie. And we were like, I was like, that's not a lie. It's just because those are the words that come to my mind right now because English is not my first language. So that's not a lie. I'm really trying to be true to yourself right now, but that's crazy. And it's easier on one-on-one. I had multiple times during the season that I had to convince Parvati to trust me, and I had numerous conversations with her one-on-one. And because of the nonverbal, like a majority of a conversation is nonverbal, right? So because of that nonverbal, the fact that I can connect with her, look at her in the eyes, I was able to like convince her. But during a crazy moment in a tribal where you have to defend yourself with other people that speak English so much better than you do, it's so difficult. So yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, but when you said you can't lie in English, that one was a lie though, right? Ironically, you were lying then in English, right?
It was a lie, yes.
Yeah.
You can lie, just like you lie in other words.
Yeah. Well, who did you know coming? Because you say when you vote for Parvati, she helped you fall in love with the game. Did you know many of the Australians? Like, who did you come in familiar with?
Yes, I did my homework before coming to Australian Survivor. I knew all of them except Sarah. So I knew which one of them were my competitors and how they play and what's their game. So I knew who I was going after.
Yeah, and what about the World Tribe?
The World Tribe, I knew like Tony, Suri, and
Yeah.
Parvati for sure. I didn't know all of the others, like Lisa, Tommy, Rob. It was like complete strangers for me. So yeah, that's hard because coming from a smaller edition of Survivor, you come to this game with no pre-existing links
Yeah.
with the other person. Parvati and Siri, they had the chance to have that natural alliance already made. The Aussie already knew themselves so damn well. So it was difficult to come from that small edition, knowing nobody, but at the same time, nobody knows you. So it's easier to fly under the radar at a certain point. So yeah, it was like hard to navigate through all those relationships.
Yeah, well, you could watch Lisa, Rob, and Tommy seasons in like the space it would take you to watch one Survivor Quebec. So if you ever want to go back, it's pretty much all combined, the length of Survivor, because you played a long season. It was very impressive. Well, it's been so great to get to know you, Cass, over the last couple of months. Seriously, tell Andre I love him. Dominic,
will.
oh my God. Like you included, I've meeting so many players through Survivor Quebec that I really have enjoyed. So it's been a wonderful experience. Good
Thank you,
luck
Shannon.
with the baby, and thank you so much again for coming onto the podcast.
Thank you, Shannon. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.